Hello, Chatham. Welcome back to episode 15 of CHS Pulse. I'm your host, Joe, here with my co-host, Hannah.
We hope everyone is staying safe and doing well, and though you're all holed up in your homes, we know that you're all still doing your best to make our town a better place.
We want to start off our episode on a nice note with some positive news from Kat in a segment co-written by Connor.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Pulse's edition of Some Good News. We know that during this pandemic, the news tends to get rather sad and tedious, so we've reached out to the Chatham High School community asking if anyone has any positive stories to tell. And we got such a good response. So, without further ado, here is some good news from Chatham. First, we have some good news on the mask front. Cartwright Bag, launched earlier this year by Chatham resident Janine Wallace, has halted its production of bags, and they are now using their facilities to produce KN95 masks. They've launched a challenge where they have donated 10,000 masks, and they will donate one more mask for every Facebook follower they receive. They will also continue to produce and donate masks until the need for them has been met. Thank you, Cartwright Mask. How amazing is that? Oh, next, and what I think is one of the coolest things I've heard during quarantine, our very own French teacher, Madam Caulfield, has had the opportunity to ask President Donald Trump a question during his Fox News town hall recently. Madam Caulfield was given this amazing opportunity by a former Chatham High School student who now works at Fox News. Check it out.
And that's very
Let me
sad.
ask, there are some questions that deal with looking back. Leslie is one of them. Leslie Caulfield from New Jersey has our next question for the page.
President Trump, it's been widely reported that the threat of the coronavirus was included in your daily intelligence briefings for weeks prior to the first confirmed case in the U.S. Can you please explain to us why you did not act sooner to prepare this country for this pandemic?
Very cool, Madam Caulfield, and congratulations on this amazing opportunity. So we all know how difficult it is to be staying in our houses, socially distant and away from our regular routines. We've been going on walks and runs with our families to get out of the house, stretch our legs, and get some fresh air. So, on Falmouth Street in Chatham, Aaron Bolger created a hopscotch board with interactive exercise activities for families to do as they're on their daily walk. As parents and children participated, they were encouraged to write their names down as a fun way to connect with people in the neighborhood, even if they couldn't physically be with each other. So, from now on, no matter where you are in town, if you see a chalk hopscotch board, I encourage you to hop your heart out. Next, the Pulse's very own Melina Penagakis has been awarded the Girl Scout Gold Award earlier this year for her work in bleeding control. Last year, she held classes on tourniquets and bleed packing and has provided the school with bleeding control kits. They are mounted on the walls next to the defibrillators throughout the school. Recently, she has been nominated as a candidate for the National Gold Award Girl Scout Scholarship. Congratulations on your hard work and your recognition, Melina. Well, that's all we have for Chatham's Good News for today. I hope you've all enjoyed it and your day has been brightened a little bit. If you have any more good news, please do not hesitate to share it with your community through social media. Thank you for watching, and please continue to social distance and stay safe and healthy. Good night.
Thank you to everyone who reached out to make this segment possible and spreading the positivity.
During a time like this, we have nothing but free time on our hands, and watching shows has been a lot of people's favorite new pastime.
Let's take a look at some of Chatham's favorite Netflix shows created by Melina and co-written by Christopher.
My favorite Netflix TV show is definitely The Office, just because it's really funny and very wholesome and like a lightweight show. Like, it's not like a heavy, dark show, so it puts me in a really good mood and definitely makes me laugh.
So my favorite show on Netflix is Money Heist. It's probably the best show I've ever watched. It's a Spanish TV show about like this guy that gets together a bunch of different criminals, each with a different skill, and they all work together to rob the Royal Mint of Spain. It's really, really good. I highly recommend. I watched it in a couple of days. It was really, really good.
My favorite show on Netflix is Stranger Things because I really like the cast and the plot, and I'm bad at finishing shows, so that's the only show that I've been able to finish easily.
My favorite show on Netflix is The Office because it's something nice to have on like in the background.
So I have many favorite shows on Netflix. I love The Office. I love Parks and Rec. I have to say The West Wing though. That's probably my favorite show. Political drama, very interesting. And I love Aaron Sorkin. I love everything that he does. So I think that's my favorite.
I think that my favorite show on Netflix is probably The Good Place,
because it's really funny and it's really well written and it's very smart. And then probably Cheer also because it's captivating.
My thoughts on Tiger King are just confusion, just because I didn't, first of all, really know that people own tigers like that. And I also don't know, like, the whole murder mystery part. That kind of confused me. But it was really funny to see, Joe Exotic's life and kind of, how he ran his tiger farm thing. And just kind of like his bantering with like people that he worked with and Carol Baskin. So I don't know, a very entertaining show, but it was very confusing.
I've seen a few episodes. I can't say that I've seen the entire thing, but it's intense. I've chatted with my aunt about this on Zoom. My aunt and I talk about Tiger King, and I mean, Carol Baskin did it. That's all I have to say.
I also didn't really like the whole thing of them making like the selling of tigers so public. I don't know, I just thought that like making a show about that is kind of wrong in a way, so I didn't actually like it that much.
I actually couldn't get through Tiger King. I think I watched like half of the first episode, but then like all the cat stuff and then having them in captivity, and I just like, I can't do zoos in the first place, and then also there's like murder. I don't know, I couldn't do it. I really wish I could have, because I miss out on like a lot of pop culture references, but I don't know, I couldn't get through it. I bet it's good.
I definitely recommend it. It was really good. It's kind of like a mystery, but it's also a comedy. Definitely for people in our age group would like it. So if you're in my age group, watch it. It's really good.
Love Outer Banks. Love it. I watched that show in 2 days. No shame. Watched Outer Banks in 2 days. Love the characters, love the storyline, cannot wait for season 2. It was really, really good. Really good.
A show that I want to watch is All American, because I've heard that that's really good.
I want to watch Outer Banks, for sure. Outer Banks. All American is the other one. I feel like they're similar, but I don't know. But definitely want to watch Outer Banks.
I definitely want to watch Outer Banks. I've also heard good things about All American, so I'll probably watch that. Yeah.
A show that I want to watch would be, I think, Black Mirror, just because I've heard that it's a good mystery show, kind of like the Twilight Zone. I heard that the episodes are really long, and so that would kind of keep me busy, I guess. And that kind of makes you think, kind of like an existential show, so that seems interesting.
A show that I want to watch. Well, there's a couple that I've seen on Netflix that I would like to watch. One of them is called The Society. I think that'd be kind of cool to watch, about like these kids go on a trip, and when they come back, like their entire town, like all the adults are gone, like they've disappeared, and then it's basically up to the teenagers and the high schoolers and all of that are still left to like kind of form their own society and like work it out. And I think that seems really interesting, and something I would like. So probably gonna watch that.
A show that I would recommend is Black Mirror, The Office, or Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
My recommendation is Ozark. I'm watching that right now. Don't recommend it for people who are younger, but definitely seniors, maybe teachers. The Good Place, for sure.
A show that I recommend for people would be Parks and Recreation, because I feel like if someone has seen The Office a bunch of times and they're kind of bored of it, like Parks and Recreation is very similar to The Office, and it's another like wholesome, like funny show, definitely gonna make you laugh, and yeah, I recommend that show.
If you have not seen Money Heist, watch it. I have gotten my mom to watch it, my sister to watch it, friends to watch it. Everyone loves it. It is so good. It is so good. You're addicted after the first episode. Also, if you haven't seen Outer Banks, I recommend Outer Banks. It seems a little cliche, like one of those typical, like, oh, it's going to be like Riverdale. No, it's so good. So good. So, I'd recommend those two shows. Also, Criminal Minds. Criminal Minds is one of my favorite shows of all time. And it's a long show. It's engaging. So if you've not seen Criminal Minds, I recommend that as well.
Watch The West Wing. It's so good. If you haven't seen The Office already, you really should watch it. Same with Parks and Rec. Same with Friends. And Money Heist is my big recommendation. Money Heist is so good. Watch it in Spanish with English subtitles. I love it. It's amazing.
I can't wait to start taking a look at some of these shows during my free time.
Me too. But what are good shows without snacks? I don't even know what to eat anymore.
Let's go over to Drew and Spencer to see what the Pulse family said were their favorite snacks during quarantine.
Hey everyone, it's Drew. Hope everyone has been staying safe and healthy during this crazy time. Today we're going to be talking about snacks. We conducted a poll to see what TV production period one's favorite quarantine snacks are. In the first round we have Cheez-Its, Goldfish, Cheetos, popcorn, pretzels, cookies, fruit, a cheese stick, and chips and guac. I got some insight from some of my classmates about which snack is the best.
Chips and guac are the best snack, without a doubt. It's like what they say about running, how it makes you happier. Chips and guac makes you happier.
My favorite snack is Cheez-Its because it is very crunchy and cheesy and a nice salty snack, and it's better than all the other ones.
The snacks that advanced to the final round are Cheez-Its, popcorn, Goldfish, and pretzels. Let's see how well these snacks did in the final round. Being 0%, no one voted for pretzels. 25% of people voted for popcorn, 25% of people voted for Goldfish, and drumroll please, 50% of people voted for Cheez-Its. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to tune into the next episode of the CHS Pulse.
Alright, well after watching that, now I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too. How about let's wrap this show up so we can eat?
Not just yet. We have one more very important segment on the do's and don'ts during quarantine with Matt and Nick.
In this segment, we'll be talking about some of the do's and don'ts of quarantine. Things you should keep in mind in order to keep your mental and physical health in the best condition they can be during this difficult time period. First, we'll start off with the don'ts, and then offer the do's as solutions. So let's begin. Number 1. Don't stagnate. At first it may be fun having extra time to do the things you enjoy. However, you may find rather quickly that it may get monotonous and boring. Prolonged and repeated schedules of nothingness may weigh on your emotions, which is something we want to avoid when trapped inside like this. Get some exercise so you can boost your dopamine and keep your body well. Second, it's important not to fall behind on schoolwork. Even though there's a possibility that it seems like you have all the time in the world, you can tire really easily and become unmotivated if you have too much on your plate that you leave to the last minute. If you find you have too much to manage, never be afraid to email your teachers. They understand when you need time, but don't procrastinate and use this as a fallback plan. It's important to be independent, productive, and proactive. Finally, don't make careless decisions. While staying inside can be difficult, it's important that you don't endanger yourself or your family by leaving the house without a mask and gloves. If everyone takes this seriously, then the quarantine will be over much sooner and we can get back to our normal routine. Let's head over to the do's now. Try setting some goals. Goals can keep you occupied and keep you in good spirits overall. Maybe set some dietary goals to avoid overeating and stress eating, and maybe tackle those things you've been wanting to do for a while. Find new things to enjoy, things to keep you occupied, and things to keep things fresh. Also, stay connected. Having good times with friends always lifts the spirits. Since you can't meet in person, things like calls, FaceTimes, and video games are good means of enjoying each other's company. Focus on self-care overall. While you're at home, you want a positive home environment, so it might be a good plan to organize some messy rooms and to make things comfortable. That's about it, guys. Be sure to stay safe and healthy and enjoy your week.
Well, that's all we have for you this week, Chatham.
Thank you all very much for watching, and tune in next time for another great episode of the Quarantine Pulse.